Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. Hey guys, Science here. I'm going to be bringing you something a little different today. As you can see, it's Arena with a warrior that I actually played some games with a few weeks ago. Now what we've got here is I'm going to show you 3 arena matches and I'm going to kind of commentate it as we go. So it's the first ever arena commentary. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, but let's go ahead and get started. Here we're going up against a Boomkin sub-rogue combo, and you can see here I've already been sapped. We're not using Skype, so communication between me and the warrior is not exactly fluid. However, you can see here that they open up pretty hard on the warrior. They tried to CC me from the beginning and catch him in a smoke bomb. Fortunately, that solar beam missed me, but I am still getting CC'd pretty hard. So my goal here is playing very defensively. I'm trying to make sure that I keep the warrior alive, so I go ahead and pop Void Shift. Unfortunately, my game was still bugged at the time with some key bindings, so I got stuck in a right turn there, but regardless, here I actually tried to use my disperse a little ahead of time because I thought that rogue, as soon as he vanished, was going to jump me, and as you can see I'm struggling here to keep my head above water. Again, my goal is just to keep Rage alive and to continue to put a little bit of pressure here. I'm barely doing any damage. This is mostly me acting as a healer because I'm spending my entire time kiting and running around while he's doing the damage. I see that the druid's trying to heal, so I sneak over and hit him with the Shadow Word Death. However, this does put me vulnerable when the rogue tries to open on me again, but the game is pretty much sold. Rageness is practically at full health, and the rogue cannot stay on me to finish me off in here. I've got my Power Word Shield up again, and this will pretty much wrap it up once we get over here. Throw the DP on him before he stuns me, and the warrior comes in to clean it up, and that's GG, no re. Alright, so we'll be moving on to the next match here. This is a Marks Hunter and a Resto Druid. Unfortunately, my preview window is pretty small right now, so I can't see exactly what's going on all the time. But, so here we're going double DPS against a healer DPS. So this is pretty much going to be about killing one of them and surviving long enough to do so. This is kind of the tricky thing about playing in a double DPS team, is if they've got a healer, you could be at a very strong disadvantage. So it's really about pressuring the healer with either switches or just straight up burst damage on the Resto Druid. Now, this is where being a Shadow Priest kind of normally it would be a weakness, as we don't have much burst, but I got some really good procs in there. I was able to get my Devouring Plague up fast enough so that I could use my Solace and Insanity burst and take him down pretty quick. So here we're just going to be cleaning up real quick, not a big deal, and there we go. Once again, GG no re. Match number 3 here, you can see we're going up against a Shadow Priest Disc Priest combo. So a double priest, that means we've got a healer and an off healer. Now, fortunately, Shadow Priests don't have a lot of burst. Unfortunately, they do have consistent damage. Now, our dots aren't very strong, so what you'll see me do a lot here in this match is focus on CCing the Shadow Priest to negate some of the damage that my warrior is going to take. Now, unfortunately, again, this is another durability match, except for this one, where they do have an off healer, a lot of control, a lot of mobility. This is going to be a long match. The game here is to try to outlast them, or rather last long enough so we can set something up on the Disc Priest. Not only once, but twice, because we're going to have to force him into his CDs and then turn around and kill him again. And this is going to be more difficult, as again, he does have an off healer. So the problem here is that I'm going to be spending a lot of my time being support. Again, I'm going to be doing a lot of healing rather than damage, but I'm trying to do my best to keep my dots up, not only for some extra consistent damage, some extra pressure on the healer, but I'm going to need VT. VT is very important in scenarios like this for the mana game, because you're using a lot of powered shields and prayer of mendings, and hills as a Shadow Priest are quite expensive. I'm also going to be mass dispelling quite often, so I can remove the dots off the warrior to again negate some of the damage that he's doing. Now you will see that occasionally I do set it up so that I got a nice Devouring Plague into Mind Flay Insanity, which is nice. It's what's needed and we are going to pressure the priest into some CCs here shortly. But again, one thing you'll see me do, I know once, maybe twice, is use Psychic Core. Now, I know the damage is important, and I've said it so many times I can't even count it, but our only burst damage is Mind Flay and Insanity. So it always kind of hurts when you have to use Psychic Core, but don't count it out. It's really useful. Now here we trade Fears, which I think actually worked out better for me, because again it bought some more time that he wasn't healing. And anytime he's not healing is working in our favor, because it's time that our damage is still rolling and he has to play catch up, which hopefully means he's expending more mana, and the goal here is just to consistently be doing damage. Here I get feared like way off into the corner while they're doing a lot of damage to the Blue Warrior. Fortunately though, I managed to again get back in time, hit him with the Power Word Shield, get the Dispel. He's got Renew on him ticking, so that helps. But we're still going, we're not out yet. And here I again set up another Devouring Plague into Mind Flay and Insanity and force him into Pain Suppression. Now he also gets the Void Shifts from the Shadow Priest. Now this is where I messed up. I should have went to the Shadow Priest immediately, and I should have had my dots already rolling on the Shadow Priest. I should have went ahead and dotted him up before I dropped my Devouring Plague on the Disc Priest, so again there was more damage going, and that swap to the Shadow Priest during right after that Void Shift would have been a lot smoother. Unfortunately, the way that Shadow Priests work, Devouring Plague does not make Mind Flay benefit from Insanity on targets that do not have your Devouring Plague. Here you can see I get forced into a Void Shift on the Warrior because he was getting pushed into Execute phase, and that's a very bad place to be against the Shadow Priest, because I can double tap Shadow Word Death, and that's a lot of spike damage. So fortunately I'm able to Void Shift him, sit here and do an LOS dance. I did use Disperse, maybe unnecessarily, but as you can see my mana is dwindling, and I do have Shadow Fiend up, but I'm trying to save it at the moment for a good burst phase. Shadow Fiend is good damage, and if you can set it up with your PvP trinket and a Devouring Plague into Mind Flay and Insanity, you can do a lot of damage. Here fortunately we're caught up. The Shadow Priest spent way too much time trying to chase me down after I did the switch, and if you can't hit a priest on the switch, like if they do a Void Shift and they run off and you can't get to him and you're just going to be wasting too much time, don't even worry about it. Now fortunately here though, as you can see, we were able to put enough pressure on the Disc Priest to force him into a Spectral Guise, but with my dots rolling, didn't do any good. The Warrior swooped in, finished him off, and then we just had to clean house, and it's GG no re. Alright guys, and that'll do it for my first ever arena commentary. I hope you guys liked it. If so, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me and share it with your friends. For the love of Shadow Priest across the globe, share it with your friends. But anyways, hopefully you guys learned something from this. I'm certainly not the best Shadow Priest in the world, but I do have some information that I can share to you in the event that you are interested in Shadow Priest PvP. I will be doing more arena commentaries, maybe not with the same composition, but if you did like these, look forward to more. And make sure you check back in a little bit, because I'm going to be uploading another video, the second part of my UI series, and this is going to be discussing LUI. So until then, Excelsior and Allons-y.